Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for September 9th, 2016. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss, and here's a significant sell-off since after-hours trading here in the ES. Yesterday, we were talking about how prices above 87s, 88.5 has been rejected significantly here recently, and that has led to various sell-offs to new lows. And we were looking for some sort of pullback into the bottom of this range. However, the manner in which it did it is completely surprising. For it to reopen the previous after hours, the Thursday evening, we see it just continue downward until it hits the key range low at 2157.5, and right now that's the current low of the day as we head into RTH. So right now, again, we have a very clear trading range market. And the idea here is just to watch for signs of rejection to bring the ball right back up. At this moment, we haven't seen anything to suggest expansion from this range. I did mention that even if we do see expansion from this range, you know, if it's to the downside, it's likely going to be a great buying opportunity on a longer term basis for a push higher. But given that this is a trading range here, typically speaking, you see new highs that are faded, new lows that are faded, right? New lows. So this one may want to continue a little bit lower, below the previous low here, 54s, before it sees some buying that brings this thing back up. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look here at the intraday time frame. All right, here it is. And this is right after hours, right here, after hours. Thursday afternoon, we see the thing just go sold off. And right here we have the VWAP that's defended and a push right into 58.5, which is the FOMC level from July 27th. And that's where we are right now. You can also see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 golden lines right there. That represents the S100 PivotBoss pivot. So these are the extensions from the previous session's range. So we've already gone well over 100% of previous sessions range. Outside of that range, that's going to be important here to see how far we go again. I still believe that it's around 54s because we got 54.75 here. That's the previous low. If price drops down below that zone, that could be a great trap for a reversal back up. Otherwise, we could be looking at much more weakness ahead. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Here's crude oil. I want to put the weekly pivots on there. And crude oil, again, just continues to amaze with how strong it has been. What we talked about in the trading room was this larger, coiled up trading range that's starting to develop. The back end of this range here is about 13 handles, which means we could be looking at a significant 13 handle either breakout and rally or break down and sell off ahead. And it could play out from here until the end of the year, right? This is a higher time frame pattern. This pattern took 1, 2, 3, 4 months to develop. So once it breaks out, it could be a 4-month rally of about 13 handles, which would put us, say if we break out above 49s, that would put us at 62. If we break down below, say 43, there's going to be a lot more support down below, but we could go as low as 30 in that scenario. But we have a lot more key areas of support like 35s, 39s, etc. that would be in the way here, whereas if this thing broke to the upside, there's a lot more clear air. But for right now, we're chopping right around value. That's 46.69, 46.69, very, very important. That's composite value on a 5-year basis. 45.60 is 1-year value. And so right now we're just chopping around value. We could continue to see that until we see some sort of major expansion at some point. And so keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look here at the intraday time frame. On an intraday basis right here, we've seen nothing but selling pressure throughout the session, very similar to the ES. Only this one has seen countless rotations into VWAP go perfectly offered. So right now VWAP is offered. As soon as we see some sort of rejection on these lows, we'd likely see a bounce right back into VWAP. That's likely to be defended until proven otherwise. As soon as the stops come out, you're likely going to see this thing flush right back to 47.32. So right now we could see a little bit more pullback here ahead. Anything below 45.77 would be a significant area to consider for a trap and a squeeze. So that's going to be a key level to watch on the downside. All right, let's take a look at gold futures here. Okay, here's gold. Again, what we were looking for out of gold here was for a rally off of 1206 up toward 1360 to 1370. We got up to 57.40, and then I mentioned that the move was pretty much done once we got in here. The move was pretty much done in the trading room. But then I mentioned that we could see further selling pressure short term. That could be a buying opportunity for one more push higher. Because, you know, we basically have a clear trading range that is developed here in this one, and you have to continue to watch that range. That is the range for business. And right in the middle of that range is 1340. So what the market likes to do is when it trades in this range, it'll trade some in the lower distribution, then come up and trade some in the higher distribution, then come down and trade in the lower distribution. Now it comes up. So here it is pulling back. I think if it can hold this zone, 1340, generally speaking, there could be an opportunity to come up to the top and trade in this area again before it either comes down, back down toward the bottom, or breaks out. So right now I think that there could be another wave of strength here, but we got to hold the 1334s and especially 1331s. But I think we could see weakness into those zones, but that area between 1330 and 1334 needs to be defended by bulls for another shot higher. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Very similar to the ES, the NQ has seen significant selling pressure already overnight and pre-market. Prices here, I was very, very cautious above 48.30, right? We were talking about everything above 48.30 here has been rejection, and that the final level to give would be 48.20. And once that happens, you're likely going to see a move back across the range into 47.90, I said, and 47.60. So that move has been completed. We've completed that move to both high probability targets. Matter of fact, yesterday's first target was reached here. That same level was used as an absorption point already today, and a second target was reached already now. So that's basically how you look for a trading range opportunities. When you're well within the range, you look to see how high we've been getting. Has there been a new high? Because if there has been, that's good, especially if it's been rejected. And from there, you can look to negotiate back across the range, and then just look to play on those 2 days. This hasn't even been the full 2 days, and you can take that and run with it, right? And now the goal is to watch for the opposite effect. Typically, that's going to come as a result of breaking this low. That's why it's a major part of our PivotBoss pivots. That low is going to be very important. Coming down below it, 47.50 will be important. That's where bulls would like to trap. And then climbing back above or reestablishing acceptance back above 47.50 could offer a move back across the range yet again. Because all pullbacks have been buying opportunities in this market, no matter how steep the pullback has been. It could be argued that the steeper the pullback, the bigger the resulting rally. All right, let's take a look real quick at the intraday time frame now. Here we are. Quite a bit of selling pressure already. You can see a little bit of a push up in after hours, and then it's been completely downward. This is VPOC right now, and that is current overnight VPOC. Taking that bid could be important because it could imply a move right back to value at VWAP. Until price gets above VWAP, though, it's going to be offered. Once it's able to get back above 47.77, then there could be a play to come back toward 4,800. But again, there could be more downside into 47.49.5 to 47.45s. Somewhere in that area, there could be a little bit of a bounce in this zone, and that's where you could finally start to see some sort of bounce. So below that is going to be the 47.30 key level. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the weekend. Good luck, trade well, and happy Friday.